DIY or Die, Walker Vapor Group LLC, or any of its associates do not condone nor encourage the use of nicotine, vapor products, or any mood-altering substances without the explicit consent of a physician. The content viewable on this channel is strictly for entertainment purposes only and not meant to be seen as informational or educational. Must be 21 years or older to view these materials.
Silky Beat. Hey, what is up, mixers? Welcome back to another episode of the MIXINVIXENS. My name is Emily, also known as Milton Icon, and let's say hello to our other Vixens. First up, we've got Jen, the Juice Berry. How you doing, Jen?
Doing good. How are you? I hope you had a good weekend this week.
I did. And then we also have the lovely Rin Vapes. Hi, Rin.
Hello.
Hello. And last but not least, we have the lovely Lumi. How you doing, Lumi?
Peachy,
it's how I like to hear. How's everyone's weekends?
Doing good. Car shopping and not for me, for my husband. He needs a truck. And just wrapping it up, getting my mom ready to go home. So just doing family stuff this weekend. Tired today for some reason.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those Sundays. I'm a little tired myself. I've got family visiting from the mainland, so we've got a big dinner later today with everybody. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, I've been cooking every day since this started. It's been like 7 weeks solid cooking every single day. And today we actually ordered from one of our local restaurants or Mexican restaurants here in town, and I'm not huge on Mexican food, but he's a really good friend of ours. And and my husband's done a lot of work for him. And he's always been good to our family. So I figured, at a time like this, when his sales have got to be, he has 5 restaurants, and the overhead's got to be high on that. With 5 restaurants and sales as low as it is, I know his mortgages, all his stuff is due, and he's just not making enough money. So we decided to order a huge family outing for, 2 families, my family and my husband's father and uncle and aunt and stuff like that over there, so that we can at least help with that. Sometimes you got to help local businesses.
Yeah, it's really a good idea to support local this time, so that's awesome. Good to hear it. Ren, how's your weekend going?
Good. It's been pretty uneventful. Kind of just chill.
Nothing wrong with that. A little chill weekend.
Yeah.
How about you, Lumi? What you been up to?
I don't even know.
That sounds like fun.
I've just been doing Lumi stuff.
Just doing Lumi stuff. Lumi's doing Lumi. All right, guys. Well, let's just jump right into it. I kind of had a good time with this with this recipe this week. Normally I do like to do bakeries and stuff, or if I do a fruit, it's like a fruit and cream. So this was kind of right up my alley, and of course, we all know granola is hard as shit to do, but I'm pretty happy with what came out of it. So how did you guys like doing this, mixing this profile up?
I went simple. I went simple this week, something that people can shake and vape.
Nice.
Same. I did find that flavor I previously tested and hated, I actually don't mind. So that was
that's that's always a good discovery.
Yeah.
I discovered that mine was a shake and vape, but it did start, most of the stuff that I vape, I don't like it unless I can vape it right after I get done shaking it.
Yeah.
So I did notice it got a little bit better after it steeped, but it was still good right off the shake.
Of steeping, I'm kind of glad that we canceled last week's show, and for that, I'm sorry, everybody, but I had family things I had to attend to for Mother's Day. But I'm kind of glad it happened because it let me see that my mix completely kind of fell apart after 2 weeks. So it's one of these mixes that it's really good from like 3 days to like a week and a half, 2 weeks. But if you go longer than that, the yogurt just completely takes over and drowns out the fruit, and it's just not good. So I was able to
why
put
don't you
that
tell
in
us
my
about your recipe since you had that experience with it?
Yeah, all right, we can start with my recipe. It's pretty simple, only 5 flavors, but I am using 2 kind of obscure flavors. For the yogurt, I just went simple, 1 yogurt. No, I did 4% Flavor West yogurt. To me, it's just a good, creamy, standard yogurt. I didn't want to go too funky, like something like a Greek yogurt. I wanted more of like a commercial, like Yoplait type yogurt. And then for the fruit, I went with 1.5% FA blueberry juicy ripe, and then 2.5% FA juicy strawberry. I find that both of those are pretty good kind of standalone fruits. They don't need too much help, especially if they're not the only fruit element in the mix. If you're mixing fruits, I find that those are pretty good by themselves. And then for the granola, I kind of went a little bit different, trying to do something here. So I used 1% one-on-one baked honey oats, which is kind of similar to breakfast cereal by Flavor Art. It's a little bit sweeter maybe, but it's got kind of that same, cereal-y kind of texture and taste. And then it's kind of oaty, and then I wanted to kind of trash it up a bit, if you will, like give it some more sweetness and some more crunch, like I guess trying to emulate the buckwheat type of part of granola, because I've got the oats covered, right? So I did 1% of the one-on-one honey puffs, which is kind of like a Honey Nut Cheerios type of vibe, a little bit sweeter maybe even. So I found that the blend of those two turned out pretty good. And I really liked how, they emulated granola in this. I would steep this for a couple of days. I mean, you don't have to, but I find that after a couple of days, it kind of blends nicely. And then, like I said, vape it right away. Don't wait more than 2 weeks.
When you said it fell apart, what part of it fell apart? Because when I look at the Flavor West yogurt at 4%, I know that is a shake and bake percentage for yogurt, but once it grows, that yogurt gets so thick. I can't use Flavor West yogurt.
And that's exactly what happened. It grew
more than 2% if it's going to sit.
It grew too much and completely drowned out the fruit.
Right.
So all you got was like a bunch of really delicious yogurt with a little bit of granola. Not even a bunch, but a little bit of granola. Like it covered up all the fruit and most of the granola.
I wonder if you went down to 1% on that, if you were going to make a bigger batch and let it sit.
I would maybe do 2%.
Yeah, I would probably do 2 too, so that at least it would be creamy.
But I just didn't have time to redo it.
And test it for that amount of time either.
Right, and test it for that amount of time. But if you're one that likes shake and vapes, this is fine, absolutely fine as a shake and vape. It's a really good mix. I
and if you're going to steep it, maybe lower it to 2% and make the same recipe, and it'll probably still be good.
Yeah.
These flavors probably blend well together. It's just that yogurt gets it is so strong.
Yeah, it's very strong. Yeah.
Tried the honey puffs by themselves.
You've tried the honey puffs by themselves?
Have you?
Oh yeah, I have.
Is it supposed to be like those Honey Smacks cereal, you think?
Let me take a look at my notes here.
One-on-one has a lot of obscure flavors.
Yeah, they do.
And of course they have to change the name because of copyright.
Yeah, they kind of are, because they're very sweet, honey flavored. I couldn't tell if it was corn or wheat cereal, you know, but they were like Honey Nut Cheerios or like those like Smacks, the guy with the frog on the box, you know,
Yeah.
kind of like that. And I just found that it really lent itself to commercialize the granola from the baked honey oats, you know.
Yeah, and honey pairs well with yogurt anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's not floral at all. Like the honey from it is real like mild and sweet and a little dark, you know. So it worked out really well. I really enjoyed. I vaped the whole tester in a matter of like a day or two. So after especially after it fell apart. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
How'd you find out that it fell apart? Like after the fact, like a couple.
Yeah, because I did I made sure I left a couple drips in the bottle. Like I vaped all of it, and I'm like, oh crap, I need to save this. So I saved it, and then I pulled it out again, and then was like, oh, yeah, okay.
I did not have that kind of restraint. Mine was gone on Sunday evening.
Oh wow. Well, let's talk about yours then.
I went more of like a soft oat flavor as like a back note to mine. I used VSO's blueberry and VSO's red raspberry at 2.18%. And for me, those were my really natural fruits because I love the VSO fruit flavors. And then for oatmeal, I went with Wonder Flavors, oatmeal and cream at 1.27. And then to back that up, I used Real Flavors oatmeal cookie at 1.38. It is surprisingly delicious. So I'm happy with that. And I don't like yogurt. So I did more creams to back up the oatmeal and cream that's in there. And I used Flavor's vanilla pudding and One-on-One's whipped cream. I used Flavor's vanilla pudding at 1.14 and One-on-One whipped cream at 0.56. For me, it was a really nice, gentle, light cream with like a butter note to it. Like a light pudding with oats and fruit. So I was really happy with it.
I love that you used the oatmeal cookie and the oatmeal and cream because I think that, you know, that's kind of what I was thinking of at first with the granola because that oatmeal cookie is like a really good kind of oaty flavor. So that's awesome. And I love that you didn't go with yogurt and that you just chose creams to bump up the oatmeal and cream. That's awesome. It looks really good.
I was really happy because I thought it was going to come out more pudding-y than anything. Like it was going to have that super distinct pudding flavor. But for me, it was more of like just kind of like a really nice, smooth, light pudding, like cream, vanilla.
Yeah, like a creamer, kind of like the picture could very well be like a whipped type cream from a heavy cream, maybe vanilla
like
notes.
a Bavarian cream or
it doesn't necessarily have to be a yogurt. That's really good.
You like that One-on-One whipped cream?
It's the first time I've used it.
I've got that in my cart, so I can't wait to try it.
I love it.
Yeah, I like it a lot too.
Yeah, is that your favorite whipped cream?
Huh?
Is that your favorite whipped cream?
It is. Before that, what was I using? I don't even remember.
Was it the Capella vanilla whipped cream?
That was my go-to at a point.
That's a good one. You know, it's got big shoes to fill though because Salubarone cream chantilly is still my favorite whipped cream.
But isn't that I think creamy and buttery though?
Yeah, it's real rich and buttery. It's not light at all. Like
I like a milky cream for whipped creams.
Yeah, the One-on-One is not buttery. It's just a really nice whipped cream. It's kind of
like the one in the can that you swerve out, isn't it? Is that what you find?
Kind of a cross between that and like when you would whip actually make
Cool.
whipping.
Oh, when you make it at home?
Yeah, because it has a little bit more of a richness than like the canned stuff would.
Nice. Good. I'm excited. I'm gonna buy it.
It's my version of Bayless. I just try to like push it on everyone.
I think that's what honestly rounded out like the strong pudding flavor from Vanilla Pudding Flavora.
Yeah.
I feel like that, along with the cream and oatmeal and cream, really just kind of helped dial back the vanilla pudding, but still had a little bit of vanilla pudding in there.
I think it's perfect to make a milk with, also using a little bit of fresh cream and the whipped cream. Those two together are really good for making a milk note without butter notes, because milk shouldn't taste like butter.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for sharing, Lumi. This looks very delightful, and I have all these flavors except for the whipped cream. So maybe when I get that whipped cream, I'll have to make it up. Mix it up. Who would like to go next?
I'll go. Mine's pretty simple, so I don't know how much I'll elaborate on it. I used Capella's creamy yogurt at 2%. I had to bump it up a bit. I started at 1, and it didn't really come through much at all. Then I used Greek yogurt by Flavora at 0.2%, like literally like a drop, just to add a little bit of the Greek note without it being too much. Because I personally don't like that really heavy Greek yogurt flavor. I used Forest Fruit by Flavor Art at 1.5%, just for the berry mixture. It's a really solid flavor I haven't used in a while. And then I went with TFA oatmeal cookie at 0.5% for like the granola part. I actually bought this specifically for a mix Jen made, Jen Jarvis. And she mentioned she liked this flavor. So I'm like, okay, she's pretty picky. So if she can use for it, I'll buy it. So I originally did the Real Flavors oatmeal cookie. And I didn't like it, but since that flavor might not be available at all anymore, I wanted to use the TFA to see if it was even doable. And I end up actually liking it more.
You like it?
I do. At least.
Oh my gosh, you're like the only person I know who likes this flavor.
Well, Jarvis does too.
You guys are weird.
I can use oatmeal cookie too.
Oh my gosh, I've tried to use this flavor so much.
Have you tried using it low like Rin did?
No, I don't think so. I think 1% might be the lowest I've ever tried it, but it's just so because it's just so awful.
Like, it's not that awful if you use it low.
I didn't have any inclination to mess with it.
Yeah, I used it fairly high as well when I first did it, and I mean high. It was like 3% or something like that. And that could have been why I didn't like it, or it was a bad patch.
It was like cardboard.
I got a candle from it, like a candle. Why, I don't know. But even at 1%, because that's what I had it at originally, it was still good. It just kind of took over. Like, I didn't really get any yogurt from it. But essentially what it tastes like to me is like oats with like some spices in it, like a little bit of cinnamon that you would find like an oatmeal cookie. So I figured that would go well with like the granola essence, because there's not many granola flavors out there, and I don't really like any of them. So yeah, I actually like that flavor, and I'll keep it in mind for other things.
Nice. I like that you added just a touch of Flavor Greek yogurt too, because that creamy yogurt is really good. I really like it, but sometimes it's not like yogurty enough, right? So just adding a touch of that Flavor Greek yogurt gives it, I bet, a nice kind of sour twang to it.
Yeah, and that's kind of what the cap was missing, is like just very kind of bland.
Yeah, it's good, but bland. Like the texture's on point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it needs a little oomph. And just that 0.2%, I bet, is perfect in that.
Yeah, I didn't want it to be too funky. And I would have used full Flavor West yogurt because I really like that one. I'm pretty sure it's what Fresh uses in his Addie's yogurt, which is a really good mix.
Yeah.
But mine is old, and I didn't want to like risk ruining everything by like using an old flavor. So was like, eh.
And good old forest fruits. I mean, that is an excellent flavor that I forget about. And when you're doing something like this, you don't want to overcomplicate the fruits.
Yeah.
You just want something that's tasty and gives you the idea that it's mixed fruits, and that's perfect in this.
Yeah. I actually had to repurchase that flavor because my flavor was old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, forest fruits is bomb. It's a really good
Now
flavor.
that you repurchased that flavor, even though the other one's old, you should do a side-by-side tester of each to make sure that the old one is actually gone off or if it's still usable.
Yeah. I've made the mistake of thinking like, oh, it's fine. And then I mix up a thing and it ruins everything because the flavor is bad.
Just bite the bullet and buy new.
Yeah, it gave me a reason to spend money, and I got some.
You got some shopping done other than essential shopping, huh?
Well, I wanted the free shipping, and
oh
yeah. So I went to Wizard Labs, and I haven't bought from them in a while. And Emily has some one shots there, so I got a pack that included your OCD donut thingy.
Awesome, thanks.
Yeah, so I haven't mixed it yet because it said it needs a steep. I don't have time, so yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Ooh, we're rolling right through these, aren't we?
We sure are. It's going to be a short show tonight, guys.
It sounds like it. Mine's if you guys are ready, I can go ahead and
yeah, let's go for it.
So I went easy, shake and bake style, and I rarely do that on the show, but I've been mixing a bunch of stuff because I'm going out of town, and who knows what the heck I'm going to want to bake when I'm out of town. So I wanted to go ahead and make something that was shake and bake that I can bake now while I'm steeping the stuff that I'm taking with you. I'm taking you guys with me.
I'll go.
You'll go? Come on, let's do it.
I'll go to Florida.
I'm actually driving down there. I have no idea how I'm getting back. I think I'm flying, but if I can't find a flight, my son's going to drive me back. So either way, I have to be back next week because my daughter's actually having her makeshift graduation next Sunday. So it's going to be a quick trip. I mean, I'm leaving Thursday or Friday, and I have to be back Monday or Tuesday after that. Suicide trip is what I call those. Anyhow, let's go on with my recipe. I use raspberry from FA and blueberry from Flavor West. I can't help it. Anytime we have any blueberry anything, I have to use the Flavor West. And I did try a couple of different ones. I did make something that was pretty good, but it was last minute and after I actually made this, so I don't know if it's going to fall apart or not, using the Molenberry black currant and the Molenberry blueberry. But I'm not sure how that's going to work out at the end. So we'll just go with what I already know worked, which is the raspberry from FA, blueberry from Flavor West, and then I use yogurt drink because that already has yogurt in a kind of yogurty base, but it has a citrusy base on it. It's perfect. And I just used a very light amount of cookie in here because I didn't want to have too much of a crunch, too much of a bakery note in there, but I wanted it to darken it a little bit, kind of like when you're having something with cream and a fruit in it where you're just going to get a crunch here and there. So I find it to be really interesting. It's not necessarily, I wouldn't say that it's true to the picture because it didn't have a white creamy background type. It has more of a citrusy yogurt. That yogurt drink is delicious. And I'm telling you what, when I added the blueberry and the raspberry to it, it's just a very fruity mix. It's actually more fruity than it is creamy with a little bit of cookie, but it's delicious. So no, it's not very authentic to the picture, but it's a really good mix and it's easy. It's only got 4 ingredients in it. It's a good shake and bake. It's one of those that you can just shake and go with. So, I mean, I don't have much to talk about it because there's not much to it and it's pretty simple, straightforward, to the point. It's a strong enough of a mix, even though it's only 6 to 7% total, but it's pretty good. And you can add some sweetener if you wanted to it, but I find the flavor, the yogurt drink and the blueberry have enough sweetener in it that I didn't need any sweetener in it.
Awesome. Wow, this is really interesting, Jen. Yeah, you did go simple, but it looks like very well done. I never would have thought of using yogurt drink, but you know what? Lemons and blueberries go so well together.
And then the raspberry just added a little bit of a red note.
Yeah, a little bit FA raspberry for that pop, that red pop.
And it's a darker red pop too. It's a raspberry, grainy red pop. You know, it's not a bright red candy style. It's raspberry.
Right. Yeah, awesome.
Thought about using the yogurt drink, but because of my issue with lemon, I was kind of afraid to.
Yeah, and I have lemon issues as well.
Because it's very bright.
That's why I say it's a shake and vape, because since I do have issues with lemon, sometimes it's good, but I can only vape a little bit of it. So, I mean, I did make this in a 10 mil. I vaped the whole thing. It was delicious for the day it lasted, and then that was it. Will I make this again? Yeah, I'll probably make this again as a shake and vape to throw something in the mix that's different from what I vape every day, you know, but not something that I would vape all day long every day for more than a day or two at a time. But that's mostly, I think, because of the lemon and the blueberries. I'm not a big blueberry person.
Yeah.
They fade on me fast. Like that's one of the flavors that will give me vapor's tongue. Lemon gives me the vapor's tongue. And I think the combination of the two is just something I've done so long that it's just not something I can personally vape. But I know that other people enjoy this as well. And that yogurt drink is really good.
Have you tried Vape Train Bilberry Ripe?
No, I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, you might want to think about giving that a go for a good blueberry. It's a good, bold, punchy blueberry that doesn't seem to fade.
Well, it's not that it fades. It doesn't fade. Other people still taste it. It's me.
Oh, you just get flavor fatigue from it. Okay, I got you.
Other people think it's too strong, where I'm like, I can't even taste this. You know how some people do that with strawberry? Well, that happens to me with blueberry.
That's how it was yesterday on Fresh's show with my damn watermelon peach mix. I just got so, like, all of a sudden just like flavor blind, and all my mixes were turning out like garbage.
Yeah, isn't it terrible when that happens? It doesn't happen often, and it could be the spring too. I don't know. I don't know what causes it, but it does happen. And it doesn't happen as often as it did when I first started vaping. So at least there's that. And I know what flavors do it, so I avoid those.
Yeah.
It's actually worse for me. Like, I never had issues until the whole lemon thing. And now I have problems with lemon. I can't taste strawberry like at all. And I'm really upset about it.
Oh no. That's too bad.
Yeah. I might try to do like the whole alpine strawberry thing. See if that doesn't.
That didn't help me when I was strawberry blind. The alpine strawberry, it's not a flavor I can do. But when I went strawberry blind, what I did is I went to forest fruit for a while, and then for some reason I was able to associate strawberry again. Not long, so I think it's an association thing. Long after that, but I went to forest fruit. I completely stopped using strawberry for a little while. I went to forest fruit for anything that needed strawberry instead. And then when I added strawberry back into my mixes, I started tasting them again. I think I'm getting strawberry blind right now because I've been vaping strawberry for like 3 months now. Strawberry mixes, but who knows? I still feel very satisfied with them.
Switch it up.
I know. I still feel very satisfied with them. Yesterday, I took out when we were at the car lot, I took with me a pineapple mango mix to try to switch it up for the day. And I'm telling you, I was like a freaking Nick Fit of some sort, where I was looking for that strawberry mix in my car. I just had to get the second mod. Luckily, I had it like in the back seat in my pocketbook, and I had it, but I was looking for it. Even if I can't taste it, for some reason, it's satisfying to me.
Yeah, sometimes I'll get like that because it's like I can mix something new, or I can mix something I know that I don't hate. And then I just fall back into like mixing the same things over and over again. So I've been forcing myself to mix at least every other mix something new to try to prevent my issues, because it seems like it's just getting worse. Like I'm just like losing flavor by flavor. I'm like, yeah, this can't happen.
Yeah. And another thing I started incorporating that I started using this week, where is it? Well, and I know I'm afraid of the pineapple. So mixing pineapple, I'm thinking maybe that has enough of a citrus note that it might be giving me the same effect that lemon does, and I just don't notice it yet. So
could be.
I'm a little bit scared of it, but I mean, right now it tastes delicious, so that's what I'm vaping.
It seems to happen more with like those top heavy, bright poppy type flavors,
Yeah.
All right, well, we have some people play along with us this week. Let's take a look at those. The first one is by Michelle Hughes. And on ELR, her name is author Michelle Hughes. She did a TOC strawberry parfait. So she used 2% Capella Cereal 27, 1% one-on-one cream milky undertone, 2% FA Red Touch, 2% Wonder Flavors strawberry cheesecake, 0.5% super sweet, 1% Capella toasted almond, and 2% Flavor West yogurt. That's awesome. I never would have thought to use strawberry cheesecake in this, but that sounds like a really good idea.
That flavor is really good.
It is so good. Yeah. And you know what? I love this just simple almond and cereal 27 for the granola. Like, that's all you need.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this looks really good. And she used a yogurt at 2%. So,
yep, that's what I should have done.
And that creamy milky undertone to give it more of a milky note.
Give it a little more body.
That's a good combo right there.
Sure is. Sure is. Good job, Michelle. Thank you so much for sharing.
I like all of the flavors here. I want to try. I don't have the toasted almond though.
I don't think I've ever tried the toasted almond from Capella.
No, I've only tried TFA.
It's pretty good. It's lighter than TFA's. It's not as strong, and you don't have to be as careful with it. And it's a bit sweeter, but it has a lot of the same notes. And I can tell you that I like the TFA better, but only because it's drier.
Okay. You know what? And I'm looking here. I looked at my notes. I have tried the toasted almond, and that's exactly what I have in my notes. It's much sweeter and darker than TFA, but not as sour. TFA to me has a bit of like a bitiness or like a sourness that can come off sometimes.
And that sourness to me comes across as dryness.
Yeah. Okay, so the next person here is Brian, aka Rum Pirate on ELR. He did a Cracker Jack berry parfait for MIXINVIXENS, and he used 0.5% Vape Train Bilberry Ripe, 3% Flavor West Blueberry, 1% Wonder Flavors Caramel Butter, with 1.75% Flavor West Caramel Candy. He did 0.25% FA Coffee Espresso. He did 3% Capella Creamy Yogurt, 1% Inawera Horned Toffee. Oh, I need that flavor in my life. 2% Jungle Flavor Strawberry Sweet, and then 1% Vape Train Sweet Cream. He said, I saw this as a berry parfait with a caramel popcorn crunch layer. I'm embracing the popcorn flavor of the dark bean espresso, mixing it with caramel candy and a little toffee to tone down the burnt note. It's different.
It's different. Yeah, I was looking at it thinking, oh, this is going to be different because it's going to have a lot of dark notes. But I bet you it's very satisfying and kind of probably a great MTL vape right there. Just because of the darkness in it.
It looks real dark. Like that
It's
caramel butter and caramel candy is a really good combination for caramel.
Yeah. This is going to be like a fruit caramel mix. It looks good to me.
Nice. Thanks, Rum Pirate. All right. And then last but not least, we've got good old Sam. I am Sam. He was a guest on Noted last time. Thank you, Sam. He did a Captain Parfait. And he did 6% TFA Berry Crunch Cereal, 3% TFA Wild Blueberry, 0.25% Flavora Crunch Cereal, 1.5% Wonder Flavors Frozen Yogurt, 1.5% Wonder Flavors Vanilla Marshmallow, 1.5% one-on-one powdered sugar, 0.5% super sweet, 1.5% FA strawberry or FA red touch, and then 1% Flavor West yogurt.
He loves those 1.5%, doesn't he?
Yeah, it sure does.
It's balance, if nothing else. Everything is mixed into a cream.
And you know, with that Flavora Crunch cereal so low at 0.25%, I bet you don't get the off notes or as many of the off notes that sometimes people can get with Crunch cereal. And it just gives that berry crunch a little bit of more texture.
I mean, it just looks like that berry crunch is the main note in there. And I bet that's really good. I mean, I don't know. I would have to mix this to tell, but I mean, it looks like it's going to be very berry forward with some crunch in it and then some cream to smooth it all out.
Very dry, crunchy berry with some good cream in the background. It's that frozen yogurt, marshmallow, vanilla, and Flavor West yogurt. I bet it's nice and fluffy.
Yep, I have to agree.
Awesome. Sam, thank you so much for playing along. That's fantastic. We love to see what you guys come up with, because there's so many different ways to do the same profile.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna call it, unless there's anything else that you guys would like to say. If you like what we do and you'd like to support us in a fun, tasty way, head on over to Flavor Jungle. We've got some one shots there. Jen, how is yours coming?
I suck. I'm terrible. I've got the recipe. I've just really got to touch base with them. Somebody remind me tomorrow. Somebody send me a text. There's a messenger, so I remember.
All right.
To call them.
We'll do. But the other three was JJ, Rin, and myself. Our one shots are up there. Rin and Lumi and myself, we've got merch also over at Vaping Swag. So if you want to donate to CASA and get something cool out of it, you can do that, because all the proceeds from the merchandise at Vaping Swag, be it t-shirts or backpacks or whatnot, will go to CASA. So I think that's pretty cool.
I think so too.
Get yourself a Cocoa Knot shirt.
Cocoa Knot?
Lumi squeaks.
Million thanks to Bull City for everything they do and for always shipping out the packages super fast like no other. And thank you, Wayne, for having us on your show, and all the flavors. And who else do we need to thank? Anybody else?
Flavora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flavora. They rock.
Thank you guys for watching. Much love. Yeah. We'll see you next week for our chit-chat.
I'd like to thank my mom for giving birth to me. I'd like to thank Fresh03. Okay, I'm good.
Friction. Do we ever thank Friction for being in the background?
Friction, thank you so much for being an awesome tech producer. You rock. You're a rock star. We love you. Good night.
Good night, guys.